The lobby smelled of lemon disinfectant and resignation. My daughter, Sophia, walked ahead, her heels clicking against the linoleum. She barely glanced back. "It's just for a little while," she said at the front desk. "They have 24-hour care activities. A garden. You'll love it, Mum, really." I just smiled faintly and nodded. Sophia handed over a folder of documents papers I didn't read. I trusted her. At the end of the hall, she kissed my cheek. "You'll be safe here," she whispered, and just like that, she left. No real goodbye, just the sound of her car driving away before I'd even unpacked. The room was small but clean. I spent the afternoon listening to the hum of wheelchairs in the hall. No one knocked. That night, I wanted to call a friend just to hear a familiar voice. But before I could dial, a notification lit up my phone. "Sophia Guzman tagged you in a photo." I opened it. There was my daughter smiling beside a pool in Court. Her husband stood beside her, drink in hand. The caption read, "Family first. Thank you to the best in-laws for this surprise trip. So lucky to spend this week in paradise." My daughter had lied. She didn't drop me off for a rest. She dropped me off so she could go on vacation. And that's when I realized this wasn't just a betrayal. It was an erasure. When Sophia was born, I was 2 semesters away from my master's degree. I dreamed of managing archives, a world of dusty books and silence. After she was born, I never went back. I didn't resent Etty loved being her mother, but love keeps its own quiet ledger. When she went to university, I used my late husband's life insurance to pay her tuition. She never knew when she married Rodrigo. I sold my home in Merida so they could have a house without a mortgage. "You're the best, Mum," she'd said, kissing my cheek. When her twins were born, I moved into a tiny apartment nearby to be the invisible scaffolding that held up their lives. I thought I was earning something, not gratitude, but a place. Now, alone in this sterile room, I asked myself, had I ever been anything more than convenient? Sophia called it an assisted living residence, a place to recharge, but it felt like a prison. The staff was relentlessly cheerful. The activities board a schedule of someone else's life. Bingo, chair yoga, movie night. My window overlooked a cracked fountain. One day, I tried to walk to the sidewalk. A nurse stopped me. "Sorry, Mrs. Guzman," she said with a tight smile. "It's for your safety." That night, I heard the front doors lock behind me. A clean, final sound. The sound of my independence being folded up and put away. Everything changed with a conversation I wasn't meant to hear. 2 aides were chatting near the nurse's station. "The daughter of the new lady in 218, she didn't T-list her mum as her financial proxy," one said. The other nodded. "They're speeding up those legal papers lately, especially if there's property involved." My blood ran cold. Financial proxy. Sophia had asked me to sign some medical forms last week. I was tired, overwhelmed. She handed me the pen with that efficient smile she used whenever something needed just a quick signature. Back in my room, I called my lawyer. What he told me confirmed my worst fears. Sophia had used a power of attorney I didn't know ID, signed to list me as a co-signer on a mortgage for an investment property. My own name used as a weapon against me. "Can you freeze everything?" I asked him. "Accounts, authorizations, property rights, everything." His answer was simple. "Yes, do it," I said. That night, I opened Sophia's Instagram. There she was on a balcony above a turquoise ocean. The caption, "Much deserved. Mum couldn't handle the flight, but she's safe where she is. Everyone wins." My heart didn't ache. It clarified. I saw the comments pouring in. "You deserve this break. You do so much for your mum." I didn't correct the story. Instead, I opened my bedside drawer and took out my travel wallet. Inside was my passport and 4,000 pesos in cash. This place wasn't my prison, but the people who put me here. That was another story. It took me less than 10 minutes, using the emergency credit card Sophia had given me. I booked a single suite on a cruise to Cabo San Lucas, non-refundable, ocean view. I waited for nightfall. A nurse I'd befriended, Carmen, met me at a side door. She glanced at the security camera. "Are you sure about this?" she whispered. I was, completely. She unlocked the door and I hugged her tightly. "Don't come back," she winked. As the cool night air hit my face, I stepped out free. Not just from the building, but from every quiet betrayal that had kept me small. I took a taxi to an airport motel, then boarded the morning train west. For the first time in years, no one was waiting for me at the other end. 2 days later, as the ship pulled away from the dock, I stood on my private balcony, a cup of tea in my hands. The wind was cool and honest. My phone rang Sophia letters once, twice, a third time, I let it ring. The voicemail arrived the next morning. "No, hi Mum," just her voice, sharp and furious. "What did you do, Mum? The cards don't work. Rodrigo's trying to close a deal and the bank says your name's frozen. You blocked the accounts. Are you crazy? Call me back." I didn't when she called again that afternoon. I answered I was in the ship's library. "Why are you doing this?" she snapped. "I'm taking a break," I said calmly. "Like you suggested." "You froze everything without telling me." "I didn't think I had to," I replied. "No one asked me when you used my signature." There was silence. Then her voice dropped, low and cutting. "You'll regret this, Mum." I smiled at the ocean. "I've already regretted plenty," and I hung up. It started with one quiet comment under one of Sophia's vacation posts. "Wasn't it your mother who helped you buy the Puerto Vallarta house?" More comments followed. "Didn't your mum move to raise your kids? Hope she's on vacation too." My goddaughter saw the post. She messaged me. "I shared your story anonymously. A friend of mine is a journalist. They're writing a feature on elder financial abuse." The story spread. Blogs picked it up. Sophia's friends started tagging her, asking uncomfortable questions. She deleted her Instagram that weekend. I didn't gloat. I just watched the truth move quietly through the world, steady and persistent, like water finding every crack. We docked in Cabo San Lucas at dawn. In town, I met with a new lawyer. "I want to make changes to my will," I said, and together we rewrote everything. Sophia's name was removed. My house in Merida would go to a women's and children's shelter. My savings would be divided among the public library, a scholarship fund for single mothers, and the shelter's emergency program. It wasn't revenge, it was clarity. The lawyer asked if I was sure I wanted to leave nothing to family. "I already have," I said. "They're just not the ones who share my blood." That afternoon, I put a deposit on a little blue cottage in Oaxaca. 2 bedrooms, a wraparound porch, and a wild, overgrown garden. It would be mine. Today, the mist rolls over the Oaxacan coast like an old friend. I'm stepping onto my own porch with a warm cup of tea. The house is small, but it belongs to me. This message isn't for my daughter. It's for the woman I used to be, the one who gave everything, believing love would be enough. Now her name is on the deed, and for the first time, her life belongs to her. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more stories about reclaiming your life. Your support means the world.